We want big boy blessings. But we have little boy, okay, maturity. We have little boy mindset. Y'all really
Little boy
about
faith.
to be. That's. What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to Kingdom Prototype, the blueprint for abundant living. I'm your girl X.
I'm your girl Jazz.
And welcome back, beautiful people. All right, y'all. We walking around here too weighty. Okay, I'm relaxed. Sorry, y'all. I gotta bring it down a couple notches. We walking around here too weighty. We walking around here too heavy. We're just carrying a whole bunch of stuff.
Baggage.
Yeah, I like that word, baggage.
Yeah.
That we just not supposed to carry. Okay, that we don't got time. Okay. We are like 2 seconds in, and I need to relax.
Right. No, but we don't have time because it slows us down.
Thank you.
So yeah.
Somebody understands me. So we walking around with all this baggage that we do not have time to carry because it's slowing us down. So we are entering into this new series where we are really going to lay aside every single weight that is that is holding us back. It goes like this in Hebrews 12:1. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down. Y'all not gonna like this part. Especially the sin that so easily trips us up. And let us run, because Lord, this race with endurance, okay? That God has set before us.
But it's definitely important to talk about because I feel like when you say sin, it's such a taboo in the church.
It really is.
But it's important to talk about it because it's the very thing that keeps us disconnected from God, that keeps us disconnected from our purpose and our future. So it's definitely important to talk about.
Yeah, and we can clarify even more because I think oftentimes we hear sin and we think, oh, you're drinking, oh, you're sleeping around, oh, you done murdered somebody, oh, you done coveted, oh, you done X, Y, and Z. But sin simply means to fall short. So what about those anger issues you got? What about those insecurities that you got? Oh, y'all mad.
What about that pride?
Me. What about that pride that y'all? Oh, they really mad at us now. Y'all is mad at us. All of that causes us to fall short. And what does sin mean? To fall short. Okay.
And I feel like it's so funny because idol is another funny word because in the Bible, you know, there are scenarios where they have like worshiping statues and things like that. But even the word idol doesn't necessarily mean bowing down and worshiping a statue. It just simply means that basically trusting in something more than you trust in God.
Yeah. Exalting something more than you are exalting God. Uh-oh. Right. We can bring this down to today's present age. What are the idols of today's present age? Platform. Instagram followers, money, sex, power, people know prestige. We want everybody to know our name. Okay, we coming in hot. We is coming in so hot. Jesus. I was about to say pipe down, but never mind. I'm just kidding. Keep going.
All right. Turn down for what?
I was screaming. Oh gosh, that took me out. But all of that is an idol. We seek that more than we seek God. Okay. I'm just going to take a couple deep breaths. That was heavy.
But it's true though.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's like, I feel like at some point you have to really sit down and ask yourself, what is it that I'm looking for in this thing? Like if it's I don't know, I'm about to go with the main ones. If it's weed, what are you looking for? Are you looking for peace? If it's alcohol, what are you looking for? Like what at the underlying root of it, what is it that we're looking for? And then what we need to do is open our Bibles and see how God can fill that need. Thanks. Whatever it is we're looking for, whether it's peace, whether it's pleasure, whether it's joy, whatever the case may be, figure out what it is, what's driving us to these idols that are pulling us away from God. Like, what is it that we're looking for? And then get in our Bibles and see how God can actually fit that or, fulfill that.
Yeah. The problem is we don't trust God enough to fill the void.
Right.
So we're running to all of these different things because we have these voids, but we don't trust that God's going to fill it. And we also might not like how he chooses to fill the void, if that makes sense. So now we just run in the opposite direction to all of these things: weed, alcohol, sex, money, fame, prestige, all of these things, because we're looking for something that only God, emphasis on only God, can fulfill.
That's true.
I'm screaming.
That's true. And well, I do have something to add. I also feel like not only do we not trust God in, to fulfill those needs, but sometimes we just are impatient. Like sometimes we like, man, God, you just taking too long for me. Like we're impatient and not willing to wait on God to fill those voids and fill those needs.
Yeah.
And on top of us not trusting that he can actually do it. So at the root, of course, is unbelief, that we don't even feel confident that he can actually fill those voids. And also we have another layer of impatience where we just not willing to wait. What you got?
Jesus. Because what I was hearing in that, we're going into a whole nother, this idea of, it's so true. We are, dare I say, the most impatient generation that we've ever been in. Why? Because everything is at our fingertips. Okay, we've had this discussion before. We don't got to go back down this road, but everything is literally at our fingertips. And so we look at God and we want God to be our genie. I'm gonna skip over that one because that ain't even where I'm trying to go. Where I'm really trying to get to is we are impatient and we're looking at God and we don't want to wait, and we're looking at God, it's my money and I want it now.
Right.
But we don't have the character. We don't have the maturity. We want big boy blessings. But we have little boy, maturity. We have little boy mindset. Y'all really
little boy
about
faith.
to be. That's. I'm screwed. Just go ahead. Little boy faith. That triggered me. No, go. That triggered me. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it's just.
Go ahead.
I don't even really know what to add after that, but that's true. Like, it's just, we want all these things from God, but at the end of the day, it's like we're not even ready for what we're asking for.
Yes. And then we mad at God, and all this stuff kind of triggers me. So I'm trying to keep myself together so that I'm not like my holy agitation. I swear it is. And then we are mad at God. I say all the time, God is not the problem. We are as humans. And so go ahead, you got something to say?
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
It's going in on my leg.
Oh, I'm screaming. It's my dog. My dog is distracted. Okay, my bad. Hey, leave her alone. Hey, he like your lotion. He must like your lotion. Lord Jesus. Hey, leave her alone.
From one leg to the other.
I'm screaming. My boy going in. But what was I saying? God's not the problem. We are.
Yeah.
And before we can move forward in the things that God has for us and our purposes and just our life in general, I think it is imperative that we take a step back and begin to introspect, reflect, and ask God, what is it that I need to lay aside?
That's good. And also ask him to be able to help you, I guess the word is, deal with whatever it is his response. Like, help you to be able to deal with whatever he brings to you, be able to really sit in that and work on whatever that may be. Because oftentimes we ask God for something, he tell us what it is, and we like who he was talking to. Because you couldn't have been talking to me. So I also think it's important to.
I'm screaming. That's good.
That.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was done.
And so I think Holy Ghost just kind of sat me down because I was about to say that's pride. And I think that in a form that is also pride. When we go to church or we're in our time with God and God is kind of like reading us and we just kind of, you know what I'm saying, looking around. I was about to go on a whole rant about that being pride. But I actually kind of feel like we're supposed to go in another direction because it could be an inability to be retrospective, an inability to be introspective. So I can remember vividly, there's a time in my life where what is self-reflection? Like, I knew who I was pretty firm in who I was, but then I got in this master's program, right? And I'm a therapist, and they start asking you questions like, you know, these reflective questions, like, what are your shortcomings? I'm like, well, I'm impatient. You know, that's all I got. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they start asking these in-depth questions, and it's just like, I don't know. Yeah. And so I'm curious as to if it really could be, probably maybe some, sure. But if we're mislabeling some stuff as pride, when it's really just surfaciness, when it's really just when it's really a capacity issue, and we're saying it's pride. I hope that one makes sense. It did make sense.
So I feel like a prayer should be to ask God to help us expand our capacity to receive.
Yeah.
You know, what it is He's trying to tell us and where He's trying to redirect us to, and that's actually really good, because a lot of people don't know. Like, we know the basics, like you said. I'm impatient. I get angry fast. Whatever the case may be. We can probably name off a few things that we know about ourselves, but when you really start digging deep, a lot of people never been that deep before. So it can be hard to receive that.
Yeah. And then I'm curious as to, okay. This is so off the dome. I'm sorry. I hope this don't feel like it's like all over the place, because it does feel like it's all over the place.
Not to me.
Not to you. Okay, to me it does. So we just gonna keep it going. That's fine. Maybe it's the devil trying to get me to shut up. Anyway, my point is, that was a full transparent moment. We keeping that, and we is airing that. But yes, some people haven't been. I forgot where I was going. Some people haven't been
like
that deep
beyond the surface.
Yeah, beyond the surface, and so it's kind of hard. Oh, that's where I was going. And I'm curious as to if yes, we haven't been under the surface, but if there's also, like, if we just have a hard time receiving feedback, criticism, correction, just in general, as a generation. Can we talk about it? Like, can we talk about it as a generation? If we haven't really just been in positions in our life where we've been corrected, where we've had people pull up a mirror and be like, what? Ugh.
Yeah. Go ahead. I was just going to agree and say, I think that is definitely the case. We don't like people telling us what to do. And we don't like people telling us what we didn't do right, or what we did wrong.
Yeah.
So I do feel like that is a common issue in today's generation, for sure.
Why? I'm sorry, go ahead. You was going somewhere else. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, it could be yet another idol. Could be a pride thing. And it just goes back to what we were talking about, all these invisible idols that we don't even recognize, because again, we know the most popular ones that everybody like to name off, but when you really start digging deep, like, it's so many invisible idols that we don't even know. So I feel like it could be a pride issue.
Yeah, absolutely. Woo! A pride issue, and maybe even, oh Jesus, this is going too deep. Or I feel like it's all of these. You like, what is this girl about to say? No cap, my clients be like that. Sometimes I be they be like, what's this girl about to say? I'll be like, I know, I'm about to come for you just a little bit. But yeah, so all of these things. So basically, I guess this is how this episode is going to go. We are all going to find ourselves, because I feel like it could be this, it could be that, it could be that, kind of how I feel. So this episode, find yourself in this. So in one instance, it could be a pride thing, where we don't want to be told what we didn't do. We don't want to be told what we should do, okay, because I'm my own boss, okay? Like, because, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. But then I also think, or I'm also curious as to if some of it could also be insecurity. So now I'm already having, whether that's issues with confidence, I'm already having whatever the case may be. And so then you present to me another area where I fall short. And in my mind, this is just adding on to the bad list, to the bad insert your name list. And so now it's hard for me to receive it. Now I don't want to hear it. Now I stay at this level, because in my mind, any and everything that you say confirms my already core, this is not therapy, my core belief of I'm bad, or I'm inadequate, or I'm less than, or I'm whatever the case may be.
That makes sense.
That makes sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. We got way too deep. We got way too far out here.
And I wonder, is that why a lot of people run from God too? Because idols are more comfortable because they don't like God. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I feel like people can read the Bible with a surfacey mindset and feel like God is just saying, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, this is a sin, that is a sin. Basically, if you read it with a like a surfacey, or I guess a limited perspective is a better term, then I feel like it can come off as kind of reinforcing what you already feel about yourself. So that's a perfect example, actually, how you already feel about yourself and your shortcomings. You like, okay, well, great, now God telling me, you know, I'm a sinner and I'm this and I'm that and I did this wrong and can't do this right. So yeah, I feel like that's actually a really good correlation. I feel like it ties in together, and it begs the question, like, could that be a reason why people run to idols before they run to God? Because idols don't convict you, like, you know,
they show up. Idols aren't living.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so they can't convict you.
They just there.
Right. Exactly.
Idols don't got no power. Y'all about to get mad at me. Idols don't got no power. Okay, idols are just I don't even have a word for it.
They're a knockoff.
I like
That's
it.
what they're a knockoff brand. Generic.
I like that. What she said. I'm screaming. Idols are just a knockoff brand. They are generic. And so that is why idols are worldly, obviously. They're worldly. And they appease our flesh. And obviously our flesh wants, like, our flesh wants to be appeased. Our flesh wants to be catered to. Our flesh wants to be just all the things. And so that's what idols do. They feed into your flesh. But here comes God. And God is like, yeah. I understand you in your flesh, but I'm all powerful.
Right.
Go ahead. We need your wheels turning.
Yeah, they just turning. I ain't got nothing to add right now.
I'm screaming. That's good. That is so good. I don't know if I got anything else to say. Go ahead.
I don't have anything else to add. I was trying to think, but I don't think I got nothing else.
Yeah.
So, like you said, this is just a really like a I feel like this is a find yourself episode. Yeah. And identify your visible idols, what you was going to say.
Yeah. Actually, before we close, I do got something else I want to say. I'm screaming. Because we are in a generation where, listen, I can be the first to admit, we all about a vision. Okay, everywhere you turn around is vision this, vision that, vision,
right.
like so on and so forth. And I have no problem with that. Listen, I am one of the first people that talking about vision and building towards this vision and building this vision and birthing vision, okay, and all of the above. But my point is, if we are not careful, our vision can become our idol. It's a very fine line to where, like, I'm worshiping my vision. I'm worshiping the thing that God has called me to, or called me to birth. That is the thing that I now worship, and now I exalt, and now I put on the same playing field as God, the one who gave me the vision.
That's good.
Makes sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. Anything to add?
No.
She's like, nah, bro.
Well, I will say, I also encourage you guys to ask yourself, like, with these idols that we just named, platform, money, fame, prestige, sex, alcohol, all of that. How does this help you become who God has called you to be? So I think it's important to take an analysis of these idols. And I feel like when you do that, you'll quickly see, oh, this ain't nothing. This ain't nothing compared to what I have in God, what God can offer me.
Yeah.
So,
ooh, that's good.
That is something that I definitely would encourage everybody to do. Just take an analysis. Ain't got to be nothing too deep. Just think about it.
Yeah.
Just think about, like, how is this helping me to become a better person?
Yeah.
How am I benefiting from this, whatever it may be?
Absolutely. I agree.
So, yeah, hold that mirror up.
Hold that mirror up. Y'all about to get mad at me. And we're going to take it one step further. I dare you to put whatever the thing is God is showing you, whether that's your vision, whether that's the things that you were talking about, put it on the altar. And literally put it on the altar and walk away. Okay, so what I mean by that is pray about it. You know what, God? I've done it with Kingdom Prototype multiple times. Okay, one time I was like, please take it away.
I'm weak. Not take it away.
I'm sorry. That was way too raw. Way too real. But for real though, where you approach God in prayer and you're like, God, I'm gonna lay this in your hands, and I'm not gonna pick it back up until you give it to me. If you give it to me, what do you have to say about this vision? What do you have to say about these desires? What do you have to say about these things? And I'm gonna leave it in your hands. I'm gonna lay it at the altar.
And that's good, because it goes back to what we were saying as far as getting rid of this baggage that we have. So that's a perfect way to get rid of baggage. Just lay it at the altar. Like, because it was never meant for you to carry alone anyway. So talk about, what'd you say, we was too weighty?
Yeah.
Talk about getting some of the baggage off and get some of that weight off. I think that's the perfect way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, what better way is that?
Yeah, exactly. Then to give it to the one who said, cast all your
Yeah, I was
cares.
about to say.
Okay, I'm sorry, I just got mad because it just.
I was literally about to say, I mean, he told us to cast his cares. Like, go ahead and cast that thing.
Right, go on do it. Go on. Okay, I'm gonna move on because this is getting way too deep. Well, this is getting way too deep. Go on, do it, because I'm curious as to if we don't do it because we've become so comfortable with carrying it. And so I'm so accustomed to what it feels like to walk around with this weightiness, to walk around with these bags on my back, that the feeling of putting it down and casting it to God is too uncomfortable. It's too unfamiliar. And yeah, no. What do you mean I don't have to live in dysfunction? I've known dysfunction all my life.
Right.
What do you mean I can have a friendship and we not engaging in petty arguments? What do you mean I can be in these relationships with this man or this woman and it's not physically abusive, verbally abusive? It's actually healthy. I don't know. I don't know none of that. It's uncomfortable for me. So I'm gonna pick up my baggage and I'm gonna keep carrying my baggage because that is my familiar. Although it's hindering me, it's familiar and it is comfortable. So I'm gonna hold it on tight, and God is just like, give it to me. And you're like, no, I don't want to be uncomfortable.
Right. I don't want to be naked. I don't want to be exposed.
Yeah. I don't want to, I don't want to have to now relearn, learn how to operate in a healthy way.
Right.
So nah, we just gonna hold it tight. God's just like, give it to me. I'm not coming. Okay. I'm not coming and giving it and lifting it out of your arms. I got the power to do so. I'm God.
Right.
But you have to make a decision to lay it down at the altar. To cast, that's a verb.
Right.
To cast your cares unto
And
me.
also make a decision to stop going and checking on it at the altar every 5 minutes.
Yo.
and trust that God got it. Like, for real.
Yo, that's real. Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like that's just the humanness. Hopefully that's a word. The humanity in us.
I was gonna go with humanness.
Right. The humanity in us feel like being so used to having to work for everything and having that sense of independence. And so I feel like that's really what it is. Like, we're not really, most people aren't used to just kind of giving their cares and worries and stress to someone else and expecting them to handle it, even when it comes to God.
That's
so it can be uncomfortable.
Yeah,
because I just feel, honestly, I feel like that's just a human thing. Like, that's just our mindset. Like, we work, we want something. Most people, everybody, right? They're gonna work for it. They're gonna put in the work. What you mean? Like, it's just. But it makes sense because God tells us He doesn't think like we think.
No,
it's the opposite. Literally. Like He said, just like heaven is how high heaven is above the earth, and so is His ways. So it really makes sense because it's like counterintuitive. Like, what you mean? Like, So it can definitely be uncomfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. Because He wants total dependency. He wants total dependency, and I'm not gonna go there. Look at me in that discipline. I ain't going there. Praise the Lord. All right. I love that though. That is awesome. Where we aren't used to, it's counterintuitive to cast our cares, to cast our burdens. God, I'm not going there.
She's going there.
Woo, I'm screaming because I hear you and I understand, and I totally understand and can connect with what you're saying. Is as we are used to holding everything into into our own arms. We are used to, I don't want to go, we are used to, we're used to that. So casting is counterintuitive. But I'm curious as to if it can be deeper. Once again, a trust issue. Will you catch me? If I cast all, if I come to you and I tell you that I'm stressed or I'm overwhelmed or I am whatever burden, whatever thing that is in your heart, if I come to you, will you drop me? And so because I don't know, because I might be questioning, I can never say that word. If you really will, if you truly do care.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Go ahead.
I like that because that was literally what I was going to say. Like even trusting, like even, do you even care? Like when you say to cast your, when you tell me to cast my burdens on you, are you for real? Or you just,
for real?
are you just like,
for play?
So yeah, I definitely think it could be deeper than that. I think for sure it can be a trust issue. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, we say all that to say, I'm screaming. As we begin to close, find yourself in all of this, okay? Just find yourself. This is not go how we planned it to go, which just kind of becomes
God planned it,
right? God planned it. He's like, okay, next time, right. give me more time. Okay, transparent. Can we be fully transparent?
Yeah. I was about to say I'm sorry, God, because I did not give you. I gave 30 minutes.
Exactly. 30 minutes. No. Full transparency, y'all. Full transparency. God is stepping on our toes because we have kind of gotten into this last minute habit of, we're filming tomorrow. All right, the day of and the evening of the day prior. We like.
But we prayed about it. We would have been prayed about it. It's just
we don't give ourselves time to meditate, to marinate, to allow God to come so that we can come and it cannot be so choppy.
Yeah.
And so full transparent. We still airing this though.
Right, y'all getting this. Get this 30 minutes of
y'all getting this. Okay, but we just want to be fully transparent and authentic in this, because that's what Kingdom Prototype is about, right? Like we are about authenticity and transparency. Absolutely. And so that is something that we are going to work on just as leaders. We are going to work on as people who are trying to go after what God has placed down in our hearts. We have a responsibility to bear.
And I appreciate God's grace first and foremost, because even when we don't seek Him as early as we should, when we press this record button, it comes together. So most times, even though I feel like we may be all over the place or
choppy,
I feel like it makes sense coming through the camera.
Yeah,
most times.
Okay. I hope so. I hope so, y'all. We gonna do better though. Okay. I get what you're saying. I'm sorry. I feel you. He does. We press record. He comes through. Yes, he does. He does. He comes through. He allows wheels to turn. But there is another level that we need to get to. And so we gonna do right. We gonna do better. Full transparency. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. What else? Lead magnet. So if any of you guys are in this place where it's just like I feel stuck, I feel a little stagnant in my relationship with God, I feel like we just been at point C and I'm ready to get to point D, E, F, and all the rest of the alphabets. Right. We have something that is going to help you ignite, jumpstart, kickstart your relationship with God. It's called the 5 Ways to Deepen Your Relationship with God. Click the link in the description. I said it right on the first try. Click the link in the description and go get your copy. If you follow the steps, if you put in the work and you make the decision to seek God first and seek God wholeheartedly, you will find yourself feeling closer and closer to Him. That's all I got. All right, bet. All right, folks, y'all be easy and Kingdom Prototype out.
Deuces.